What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Conservative Insight. Today, once again, we're going to take you through a drive through Tacoma to kind of highlight the homeless crisis that we're dealing with. The last video I did was a little over a year ago, but I switched this one up a little bit different, and I'm adding commentary into it to kind of explain of what's going on. This is not to make fun of the homeless people or to make them look bad or anything. It's just to bring awareness. So please stick along through the video, and at the end, make sure you comment below of any encampments that you know. Okay, so this encampment is really close to our mall, and it's actually behind one of our main post offices here. But you can see these tents go all the way back into the bushes. You kind of lose count of how many tents you see. People are always hanging out in these cars. As you see this person probably buying drugs, because I mean these places are filled with needles and trash, human waste. There is an apartment complex that actually overlooks this encampment, and for a studio apartment you're going to be paying about $1,200 to $1,500 a month, only to look out your back porch and then see all this crime and just nastiness, trash everywhere. So this encampment is outside of a major shopping center. I'd imagine probably hundreds of people visit this a day. There's, as you can see, people hanging out. This is kind of like a common thing here. And this one has like RVs on both sides of the street. The next clip will actually hit the other side of the street. There's quite a few more RVs there. I think this has since moved because the RV encampments, you know, they just get up and move when they're told that they have to leave. On the other side of this building, the building in the background, it has like a Ross, it has, you know, Guitar Center, all that stuff. But on the other side of that is actually our police station, and there is homeless people that actually sleep outside of the police station, which is kind of interesting. But as you can see, you know, shopping carts everywhere. I don't even know why they got those cones up there, because I mean, this is not the safest environment as it is. But yeah, you can see trash all in the shopping carts, people in there. I don't even know how many people are at each encampment because there's just so many tents, so many RVs, and I doubt that only one person is sleeping in there. Alrighty, so we go to the infamous street Hosmer. As you can see, tents lining the road. Like, if someone just stepped off that curb, they would be in the street. Like, this is right next to the road. And for those that aren't familiar with Tacoma, Hosmer is notorious for crime. I think majority of our crime actually happens on this street. Now, this is outside of a hotel that's right off of Hosmer that they ended up putting fences because tents used to line these sidewalks actually all the way down up until this point. And then, matter of fact, my best friend's mom lives in these apartments right here. Here is a quality inn and an econo lodge that they kind of designated for homeless people to sleep in. Now, these places are rampant with crime and trash. As you can see, when I turn this corner, we're gonna roll up and you'll just see like doors are open, people are hanging out, trash all over the ground, you know, people walking. Like, this is just scum. This is like third world living that's going on right, you know, down the road. As you can see, Tacoma police is there hanging out because we've had such a massive crime wave that they started doing proactive policing. So they go to places with a lot of calls for crime, turn on their lights, and sit there for about 15 minutes. So right here is the only encampment that kind of makes sense to me because it's near our rescue mission, which is a homeless shelter if you're unaware. But as you can see, plenty of cars, there's structures that they actually built, tents that go actually back into the bushes, just like all the other ones. But you can see like a lot of these cars aren't even in working shape. There's flat tires. I don't even know how they got there, but this stretches for probably maybe a quarter of a mile, and that Ford Explorer has been there for like 2 years. I think it was the first car there because I actually used to own one of those cars, and it stood out to me. But you can see that it stretches. We're actually going to go and get a shot from the other side. So this is the other side of the street. And as you can see, these tents line up all the way on the sidewalk. Now, that last encampment, last video, is up around this corner. But you can see, you know, there's trash everywhere, and I'm pretty sure regular people can't even use it. So as you see here, this is an area that was featured on my first video about Tacoma, and I believe it was also in my second video of Tacoma. This is not too far from the Tacoma Dome. It's where Puyallup and Portland Ave kind of intersect. And the gas station, the Pilot Express, actually had to hire an armed guard because the violence and the crime is so bad there. It's not like a shopping center, it's a single gas station that needs an armed guard. So as we kind of go a little faster down the road, you're gonna see there's people constantly hanging out, walking around, going to these cars. Each car has someone hanging out in there, kind of looking out, seeing what's going on. On the left, you can see tents up on the hill. On the right is the structures that they like kind of built themselves. Like I said, there's people hanging out in all these cars. Now the cars on the right, I believe, belong to these businesses. So there's people going to work every day having to see this and having to deal with this. And as you can see on the left, tons of tents over there. We're actually going to see it from a different angle coming up here shortly. I mean, you can see people just riding their bikes, hanging out around. You know they're up to no good. But yeah, this is that other shot. So you can see these are huge tents, massive. You know, these people at least got theirs off the ground, get out of the elements. But, you know, there's a lot of truckers that park here, obviously, because, you know, we have that Pilot Express and it services vehicles, but there's also a lot of prostitution that happens in this area. You'll see the streetwalkers out during night. And this is another angle of those tents that were all up on the hill. So I would imagine probably at least 2 or 3 people live in each one of those tents. So you can imagine how many people actually are out and about. Let's go ahead and speed up a little bit. There's people just literally everywhere, just hanging out, doped up. You see them doing that little heroin lean. You know, at night is when you'll see like the streetwalkers, but at night when you're out here, it's relatively dangerous, you know. This is another street that's pretty much in the same area, but you can see these tents line this area as well. I don't know what that guy was doing, but you can see like this isn't just, you know, a homeless encampment here or there. They're all over the place here in Tacoma, and they're not out hidden. They're everyday. This is an everyday part of life here in Tacoma, Washington. Once again, this is not to make fun of them. This is only to bring awareness. And make sure you comment down below of any homeless encampments that are popping up in your neighborhood so we can actually document this stuff. In November next month, we have a really important election. A lot of these people have been around for a long time, which contributed to this problem. I think it's time for a new, fresh face in there. But until next time, guys, peace.